Hi, Melissa. Cheers from Barcelona. My name is Pedro, and I am the product manager of a scale-up here, in which we're going to be launching a new product in just a few weeks. And I was wondering a lot on how to develop the framework of a good product strategy and which is going to be the target condition when you do not have data. Because at the end, we have done some discovery. We're using a solution that has been validated in the Swedish market, but any data I try to put in my product kata, in which is going to be the target condition or the key metric I need to move in order to reach the number of subscribers that would make my business profitable. I'm wondering if you have any recommendation for getting something rolling when you don't have clear data yet.
All right, great question. So you have an interesting situation because you're inside of an existing company, it says. So you're a scale-up company and you're developing a new product. And you can use the product kata for this, but your goals are going to be a little bit different because it's true. You don't have any data. So what are you supposed to do when you don't have any data on a new product? This is true for all startups, all new products. We don't have any quantitative data because we're not actually getting any usage data on there yet. So we can't actually look at that. But we can still set goals. And for any new product or any new startup, the first goal is usually going to be adoption or acquisition. So adoption, if you are selling that product with other products, like let's say it's part of a platform, or acquisition, if you're trying to cross-sell it or sell it for a different monetary value. Let's say maybe they don't go perfectly together or you're acquiring people in a new market. You did mention something about already validating in Sweden. I don't know if that means that you're expanding to Spain, but in this case, maybe you want to look at acquisition. So adoption and acquisition are leading indicators that you're going to start making more money, which is that overall goal in our product strategy that we talk about. So if you've heard me talk before, when I talk about product strategy, there's several layers that we actually look at. We look at the company vision and the company strategy set with strategic intents. So where does the company want to go? And those strategic intents are usually around making more money, expanding geographically, going into new countries, right? How do we make more money? So how do we grow? Also, how do we cut costs would also be in there as well. But these are high level and those goals are usually extremely business focused and they're not like, hey, build this new product, right? They're more like, let's expand geographically to expand our TAM or our SAM, whatever it is. So you're really looking at those type of levels for your top company strategy. Now let's go a level deeper because that's where you're sitting now with your new product. Now we look at our product strategy and we look at our product initiatives, and that might be about solving problems or bringing new problems into that space. So maybe you're developing this product to launch it in the new geography. Let's say you already validated in Sweden. You want to make sure it works in Spain, hopefully. You've got a bunch of discovery work there. Now we want to launch. So this product initiative and the goals around this are really going to be about understanding those people's problems in Spain and seeing if they're applied to this product. Like, do we have the same problems in Sweden as Spain? And then you also want to look at goals that are around adoption and acquisition. So adoption and acquisition, leading indicators to you making more money. Yay. So in that case, we need to start measuring now on a smaller level, are people actually using the product? And when you're going through a discovery phase, obviously we're not really looking for that. You can use the product kata and set that target condition, which I do now call option goals. I just like it better than target condition. Target condition is a kata word and people got really confused with that. So I renamed it option goal. That's your solution, right? So now you want to make sure that people are actually using that. When you're doing discovery on it though, your goals are going to be about proving hypotheses and getting more information. So it's like, do people like this? Do we understand their problems? To be able to set a goal for usage, to be able to set the goal to get people on it. So when you're setting that goal, it's going to be like, you want to calculate how many people over a certain amount of time you want to get on that new product. That's a really good leading indicator to you reaching your revenue goals. So it needs to start at the top. So your company has to say something like, we believe that by launching this new product, we are going to get an additional $30 million. Like we can capture an additional $30 million in 3 years, something like that, whatever. Whatever yours is, let's translate it down. Okay. how do we show that we're on the right track for that? At the beginning of launching a product, you're not going to make $30 million immediately. Like, it takes time to ramp that up. So now we want to break that down a little bit further and say, how many people do we have to adopt or acquire over the next, certain amount of time to be on our way to reaching 30 million, right? Like, what's something good that tells us we have a good leading indicator there? What's a good number? And I will say this is probably not hard and fast. There's no set rules about what that's going to look like. You're going to basically have to crunch a bunch of numbers in an Excel sheet and model out good growth numbers versus bad growth numbers and see where you fit. And that's going to give you an amount of people that you want to see using your product over, let's say, the next 6 months. But on day one, you're not going to be able to measure that. So what you want to do is get that qualitative information first to show you that you're well on your way to quantitative information. So your goal, your option goal, will always be the usage. And you want to set that for, I want to see X amount of people using this within, I don't know, like, let's say 3 months or something like that. But what you're going to be doing to make sure that you're on that route is by doing user research, by sitting with your customers closely, by getting feedback from them and watching them actually use the product. That's going to tell you, do they like it? Are they happy with it? Do they actually have problems with it? Is it solving their problem? And that qualitative information is going to be a really good piece of feedback to show you that you're moving towards that quantitative piece of information. So you want to make sure you're instrumented well for usage. That's number one, so that you can actually track that over time. But two, you got to go out there in the field. You got to sit with your customers. You got to watch them use it. You got to get their feedback. And this is going to be a lot of qualitative information, but you're going to be able to say pretty quickly by doing this, yes, we're on the right path, or no, we're not on the right path. And then you're going to want to see how that grows over time to see if you can get to those overall business goals and get to your profitability. So it's not a super cut and dry, easy thing to do during product launch. I'm so sorry. That's how it is. But it's going to take a lot of qualitative information to make sure you get to that quantitative information one day. Once you get people on it and you start tracking it, now we can start to set a more firm option goal about the percentage of people we want to bring on, or we want to see usage increase, that type of thing. But all of these will track back up to help being leading indicators to your money. You will never know immediately on launch if this will work. That's the nature of startups. That's the nature of new products, right? That's okay. But if you're getting feedback quickly and you're staying with that qualitative piece of information from your customers, like you're sitting with them, you're listening to them, you're hearing it, it's going to tell you if you're on the right path. And you're going to hear that faster than from waiting for numbers to show up on a dashboard. So make sure you're always talking to your users. And I hope that helps.